Well, Gilbert water bills, which spiked hundreds of dollars a month for a lot of people in town this year, are back in the spotlight tonight as the town council decides how much rates will rise next year.
It's been ongoing. 2 years ago, rates went up 50%. Last year, another 25%. And while they were on track for another 25% for the coming year, homeowners are pushing back. Austin Walker has been following this for months. What other options are town leaders considering?
Yeah, so a big question you should ask yourself really is, what do you value? Do you want to save money now, or do you want to save money down the road? Now, there really are two options that were laid out by Public Works towards the council tonight. It's broken down into option A and option E. Now, option A starts off with a 25% increase starting April 2026, and then a 5% increase after that for the next 3 years up until 2030. Now, they say it's more expensive up front, but it's cheaper long term. Now, option E splits up the increase. They say next year it'll be 14%. That's in 2026. And then in 2027, an additional 14%. Then in 2028 and 2030, an additional 5% as well for those years. Now, the first option, again, is cheaper. But long term, Public Works says the second option is cheaper. It's not just all about up front. And really, there's no answer on exactly what people could choose or what they would want. Now, they say to really think hard and think long about this, but people like Rachel Jansen say there really is no right answer. She owns a family farm in Gilbert and says her water bill has quadrupled since these rate increases and also how things have been stacked. She says Gilbert was founded on farming and livestock, and if anything doesn't change, if something could be different, she would hope so, because she and others and other farmers are just being pushed out after 5 decades here.
What about the attention to the single family farm properties? Because our water rates went up in many cases over 400%. For our heritage properties to these tiered water rates, I fear that we're at risk of being priced out of existence. And I beg you to consider that that would be a travesty.
Yes, so Public Works saying these rate increases are a necessity, helping to pay for aging infrastructure and better access to the Colorado River. Now, a public hearing is set. That is for February 17th. But I did talk to Chuck Bongiovanni, who's a councilman here in Gilbert, after that vote about the public hearing came down. I asked him really authentically what can be done. He says right now there were a plethora of options, and these two are the best ones so far. I asked what is he leaning towards, and he said the council right now pretty much is split down the middle. Half of them think option A, the other half is option E. But I said, can anything else be done to not raise these rates? And he says no. We've talked about enterprise funds and how they can't move them. But I pushed again, saying, are you positive? We're waiting to hear back from him at this point, but we'll make sure to update you when we do learn more. For now, live in Gilbert tonight, Austin Walker for Arizona's Family.